Hi, you guys. It's Vallivon The Perfume Don back at you with another fragrance video. So I wanted to come on here and share with you guys, I think, a very essential video for when you guys are shopping online, when you're doing blind buys, that sort of thing. You want to make sure that you don't get got. Okay, so I have here Tom Ford Velvet Orchid. This was purchased at an authorized retailer, so I know it's legitimate. It was purchased from Ulta. And then we have something to where I believe it may be a replica or, in other words, a fake. But we're going to go through some key signs to where you can look for to see if yours is legitimate or not. If you just order something, so then you can go through the proper steps to be able to get your money back. And if you guys have any tips and how to figure out if something is real or fake, drop it below in the comments, okay? Super important. So one thing that I noticed, I don't know, again, I'm not an expert. I don't know if this is a telltale sign, but I did notice that where it has on the back, where it has like where it's from, Tom Ford Beauty, New York, and then it has a UK address in Switzerland. Let's see if you can see that. That's what it has right at this area. Now this one's a little bit different. It has Tom Ford New York, London, and then another address. So I noticed that those two are different. Again, I don't know if that's a telltale sign, but for me, I thought that's just something that is a little bit odd and off. For the actual box, I noticed that the box, this one, of course, these are two different fragrances, but this Velvet Orchid has sort of like a gloss or a sheen, as you can see. There's a glossiness to the packaging to where it just makes it feel a little bit more luxurious versus this one. It does have a metallic flare, but there's no gloss to it. So that's something that I definitely noticed to where it caught my eye. So let's move on until actually opening them. Again, I don't own the Black Orchid, and this is 100 ml, so I don't know if the tops are supposed to be like this, but this one has TF, Tom Ford, and this one has actual spelled out Tom Ford. Let's move forward. Now, when you open the actual tops, the thing that stood out to me is first the quality of box. This one is a lot better quality in my opinion, but if you look right here, this one actually has an imprint of what's on top, the TF for Tom Ford. It's embossed right here at the top. This one does not have the embossed of the Tom Ford. So that's a telltale sign to me that it's a less quality box. Let's move on to opening the actual fragrance. There's an insert in most fragrances that's like a box within a box to where you have this piece of cardboard that's going to actually hold the fragrance in place. Now, both of these have this, but the quality of that, again, is quite different. This one, let's see if you'll be able to tell on camera, but actually has ridges in it, actual ridges all across. It just adds a luxurious element. This one has the appearance of it, but it's not embossed the same way. As you can tell, it's more of a clean, smooth surface versus this one has ridges in it. So I noticed that. Then also with the actual packaging, this is just like a little bit more of like a simpler box inset versus this one has a double box inset to where it really holds the nozzle and the actual fragrance in place. Now I'll turn it to the side so you can see. It just this one holds it better in place a little bit more so than this one. Okay, so on to the actual fragrance. Now, obviously, there's going to be the obvious one of when I take it out. Again, this is the original. This is the Velvet Orchid. This is the possibly a replica. This has already come off. So that's something that I thought that may be a telltale sign that this is not actually correct or not real. This one also is a little bit of like a thicker, more like bronze yellow gold type color versus this one looks like it may tarnish over time. So that's another thing. Look for the quality of the nameplate that is on front. If you are purchasing something from Tom Ford, I think they all have these nameplates. Look for the quality of the nameplate. Also, how it is etched in. This one is a little bit off center. the one that I believe may be a replica. So make sure it's certain things to wear different fonts, the writings on things, the writings on the boxes, and the writings on the nameplate. Sometimes they'll be a little bit off center, and I've noticed that this one is. Now, of course, this is not completely on and it comes off periodically, so that's a telltale sign. The next thing is that when it was actually purchased, this color gold is it like this complete name, this around the nozzle is a different hue. This is more of like a yellow gold. This is more of like a luxurious golden color. And the quality of this one is quite different as well as the actual tag to hold the rope decor ornate nature around the neck of the nozzle. This one's a little bit different as well. This one is easily bendable. I'll get a little bit closer to you. It's easily bendable, and it doesn't do a good job of actually holding this around the neck versus this one. It's completely designed just for this, and it's just a higher quality. It's a little bit thicker too versus this one is thinner. Now, for the juice. The thing that I noticed mostly that really caught my eye is the nozzle. The way this nozzle looks, if you have any indication of how different nozzles look, the first appearance is that they look the same, but the way this sprays, this one catches when you spray and it felt a little bit looser versus this one is like a very easy to spray, disperses in the cloud to where it makes you know that it's a little bit more luxurious, and I'll show you. So this is what I believe to be the replica. It's a little bit hard to push down. Like when I'm trying to push it down right here, it catches. It's not smooth. It's a little bit difficult to push down. And then when it disperses, it's in like little spurts, or like a stream. It's not a cloud to where most luxurious fragrances would disperse. Versus this one, it's very easy. And it's in a direct cloud stream. So it's just a lot easier to do so. The last thing that I noticed to where it was a little bit different is the bottom actually of the nameplates. When I looked at this one, I noticed that it was very puckled and it was again off-centered and bubbled underneath versus this one that's just clean, straight across and centered. So that's another difference to where I noticed to where this one could possibly be a replica. I'm not even going to get into the scents at this point because if you've never sprayed it before, obviously this is offline. This is a blind buy. Then you wouldn't know how it smells anyway. But those are some things that I want you guys to look for in safe buying out there. Try to only buy from sites that you've already purchased before, trusted sites, or places that guarantee that you'll get your money back if you do stumble upon someone that's selling fakes. Usually I tell people to stay away from eBay because it's kind of like the wild, wild west. But again, try your best, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.